Sai Om, Sai Om, Sai Om. तन मन प्राण में साई ओम, साई ओम, साई ओम, साई ओम. Om Shri Sai Ram. And greetings to you from the studios of Sri Sathya Sai Media Center Prasanthi Nilayam as we welcome you for this Satsang. Let me take you back to the 60s when Prasanthi Nilayam darshan grounds were filled with beautiful sands, and as Bhagawan came every morning and evening onto these golden sands, beautiful memories got created, some indelible moments were formed in people's hearts. So it was one of these days when, as Bhagawan was moving from the ladies' side and he came onto the gents' side, and there was this group of people who were sitting in a particular area. Swami glanced at all of them. Swami stopped, and then Swami particularly looked at that spot and keenly looked at every person sitting there. And then Swami said, whoever is sitting in this area will live up to 100 years, will live a full 100 years. One of them, who was part of that group, later on came to Prasanthi Nilayam, stayed on in Prasanthi Nilayam, served in Prasanthi Nilayam, scored his century, and today we know the story because of this person, and this person is Mr. Hiralal Vallabh Pant. He was truly Hira. Hira means diamond. He was truly diamond of a devotee, not because he lived up to 100 years staying in Prasanthi Nilayam, but because how he led his life leading up to 100 years. Not many of us know about him. Not many probably have even heard about him. But those who have seen him, those who have interacted with him, those who have spent even 2 minutes with him will vouch for the fact that anyone who has spent even a minute with him always came back cheerful, smiling, joyful, enthusiastic, like on the top of the world, because that is what he exuded. Anyone who came to his presence only returned charged with joy and supercharged with love for Bhagawan. That was the magic of this beautiful soul, the true Hira that he was. Whenever avatars descend, you always find exalted beings. You always find souls which rise up to great heights, and they become inspirations for humanity till eternity. When Sri Rama came, you had a Ahalya, you had a Shabari, you had a Lakshmana, you had so many monkeys. Just imagine. We know the story of probably Nala, Nila and a few monkeys. If only we had the opportunity to sit down and talk with so many monkeys, if only we had the chance to really interact and learn how it was to be with Rama, sitting down and chatting with all these monkeys who are part of the Rama army, who were seeing Rama day in and day out. How beautiful, how blissful it would have been for us to just spend our moments with these beings who lived with God. In the same way, we know the story of Radha, we know the story of Suguna and a few other Gopikas and Gopalas. If only we had the chance to interact and see live how it was for the Gopikas and the Gopalas. If only we could really live with the Gopikas and Gopalas. How they were breathing Krishna, eating Krishna, drinking Krishna, dreaming Krishna, playing with Krishna, dancing with Krishna. They could not think of anything other than Krishna. They were crazy for Krishna. We know only one or two stories. Of course, that itself is so elevating. Imagine there'll be so many gopikas, so many gopalas with so much love for Bhagawan. We don't know their stories. If only you can get to hear their stories, how blissful it would be. And I feel the same with the Satya Sai avatar too. We don't have to read only the stories of Markandeya, Dhruva or Prahlada. There are so many such beautiful souls who have had the opportunity to shine like saints, having come to Bhagavan's lotus feet. In fact, on one occasion, Swami said, on the spiritual path, if you want guidance, if you want direction, no need to read scriptures, no need to go and read philosophies, no need to read about this yoga, that yoga, pranayama, meditation, kundalini, no need to read any of this. Swami said, in fact, this will confuse you if you read too much of all these texts, because each text will prescribe one particular route and you don't know whether that is the best thing for you. The safest thing and the best thing for you. Swami has told this to the students, Swami has told this to the devotees in the yesteryears. If you want inspiration on the spiritual path, read the lives of saints. Read the lives of those who have walked that path. Read the lives of those who have experienced that joy of remaining connected with God. And we have so many such stories abounding in Prasanthi Nilayam, in Satya Sai centers. For every one story of Kasturi that we know, we do not know of hundreds and thousands. For every one Ratanlal that we know, we don't know there are so many like this Hiralals who have dedicated their lives and who have lived such exemplary, such fantastic lives where they just gave themselves completely to Swami. They allowed Swami to chisel their souls and became Swami's Bangarus. One such is this Hiralal Vallabh Pant. He left his mortal coil in 2022, just a year ago. He lived up to 100 years and more. And what he taught us is something for us to ponder upon. He was born in April 1919 in Uttarakhand, in a place called Pitroghar. Uttarakhand is known for mountains. It is known for these beautiful shrines. It's a very, very spiritual state because you have plenty of religious places. And of course, it is known for nature. It is known for the sylvan ambience of the hills. And in a way, Hiralal Pantji was drawn to the mountains. He was drawn to the solitude of the mountains. He loved the mountains. He loved to be free. He loved to just be not bound to anything. In those days, he joined the Indian Air Force. This was in 1944. He initially worked in Lahore, which was part of India then. In 1947, when the partition of India happened, then he moved from Lahore to India and he served as a warrant officer for 26 years in the Indian Air Force. And during this service, he toured extensively throughout India, and he was known for his work, very diligent and very, very disciplined. And he enjoyed his work. And, he would say, I've seen literally hundreds of cities, from Jodhpur to Agra to Srinagar to Kanpur. I've seen every city. I used to have breakfast in West Bengal, then I used to have my lunch in Delhi, I used to have my dinner in Gujarat, sometimes dinner in Jammu and Kashmir. So he says, I have seen enough places. And after serving 26 years in the Air Force, one day he got this thought okay, now if I retire, how much will be my pension? And he calculated that he will get 84 rupees. And he felt 84 rupees is good enough. That is enough for me. I can live the rest of my life. If you probably think what will be the equivalent of 84 rupees in today's times, probably it will be 4,000-5,000 rupees. That's all. But he felt, why do I need more? This is good enough for me. I can now quit Air Force and I can dedicate my life to service. I can do something else. I don't need to work anymore. And he just quit Air Force. And he came and settled down in Chennai. This was in 1969-70. And there were 2-3 things that happened when he was serving in the Air Force. So once he gets his letter from his parents, and they say that we have fixed your marriage and you please come, and it's time for you to start a married life, so we are waiting for you. And I remember when I was speaking to Pantji, he said, I saw the letter and I didn't go. I didn't want to be bound. मैं तो मजे में था. I was having fun. I was so happy doing whatever I was doing in the Air Force. I didn't go. Like a childlike, joy he was telling. I didn't go. I escaped it. And in fact, after that, he did not correspond much with his parents. So after 2 years, there was a letter that came from his father to Pantji's boss saying, what happened to my son? He's not writing letters. Is he fine? We are not in touch with him. And so his boss called him and he says, what's going on? Your father is worried about you. I want you to write a letter right now and write and give it to me. I will post it to your father. So Pantji wrote that letter, and he used to get 45 days vacation while serving the Air Force. He used to never go home. He would still keep serving in the Air Force. And when the vacation came, the forthcoming vacation came, the boss told Pantji, this time you are going to go home. You're not going to stay on and work. So Pantji, after 2 years, went home, and understandably his parents were worried and they were missing him. Mother was crying, and so Pantji then said, I'm sorry, and I will definitely keep in touch from now on. And he kept that promise. He used to write letters home. But whenever his parents talked about marriage, he would somehow try to avoid, evade it. And somehow he kept saying, oh, I'm happy, I'm fine, I don't want to be bound, I'm happy. And that's how his life was going on. At least he was in touch. He had not disappeared, so parents were okay. And then came the big bang. Bhagawan entering his life in a manner that shocked him. So this was sometime in 1965. He was reading the newspaper casually and he saw this illustrated weekly of India, where there was a 3-page article on Bhagawan. There were 3 elaborate columns, and he read all that. And he saw this picture of Bhagawan. What caught his attention more than the picture of Bhagawan was a quote. And the quote said, Bhagawan is saying, you give all your problems to me. Give all your problems to me. I will take care of all your worries. But just have faith. If you have faith, I will solve all your issues. Just give all your worries to me. And to Pantji, it was something very tremendous. He said, who is this person who can give such an assurance? Who is this person who can say with this much authority that give me your problems? No matter who you are, no matter what your problem is, no matter where you are, give me your problems and I will solve them. Just have faith. Who is this person who can give such a powerful assurance? I need to check him out. And so, he came to Prasanthi Nilayam. This was 1965. And he sat in the darshan grounds. And as Bhagawan came gliding on the beautiful sands, one look at Bhagawan and Pantji says, I can't tell you why, I can't tell you how, but I just knew that he's not ordinary. I knew that he is something beyond this world. I knew that he was definitely a supra power. I knew he was supernatural. And from then on, this 45 days of vacations that he used to have in Air Force, for the rest 4 years, he used to spend in Prasanthi Nilayam. In fact, not just that, he used to spend of the 45 days, 40 days he would spend in Prasanthi Nilayam. Not just that, every festival, he started coming to Prasanthi Nilayam. He was here for birthday, Guru Purnima, Dasara, Shivratri. Every major festival he was in Prasanthi Nilayam from 1964 onwards. So he would snatch every moment to come and stay in this divine hamlet, and he would love to get up early in the morning. Even though there were no facilities in those days, no rooms, no washrooms, you have to live under trees. But he loved it. He would go to the Chitravati, get up early in the morning, finish his morning chores and come and sit for darshan. He had Padnamaskaram 2-3 times, but he loved being in Prasanthi Nilayam, and he kept coming for 4 years. And something very, very life-changing happened in 1969. So Bhagavan comes out for darshan on this day. And again, there is this group of people in a particular area. Swami picks them, and Swami asks all of them to come to the interview room. And then Swami calls each one of them to the personal interview room. And as Bhagavan is spending time with everyone individually, when Pantji's turn comes, Swami takes him inside. Swami looks deep into his eyes, and Swami says, Dekho, you have no family, you have no property, you have no home, you have no savings, you have nobody. But Swami said, don't worry. Sab Sai dekhega. Sab Swami dekhega. I will look after you. I will look after your everything. That is the only conversation he had with Bhagavan. Swami just took him inside, and Swami told him, I know you are not bound to anything. You don't want anything. You don't have anything. You didn't accumulate anything. I will look after you. He didn't even utter a word. Thrice, Swami touched his head. Swami sab dekhega. Swami sab dekhega. Swami will look after you completely. Don't worry. And for Hiralal Vallabh Pant ji, that was it. That sealed it forever. That moment, there was no turning back. From that moment, he could not think of anything other than Swami. From that moment, he never aspired anything also from Swami. In fact, after that moment, Swami has never spoken to him. He continued to live on in Prasanthi Nilayam till he was 100. Swami has never spoken to him, and he never wanted also. He was absolutely content. He relived that moment the rest of his life. Very, very content, very blissful, very happy. So he went back to Chennai. So what used to happen is, whenever he came to Prasanthi Nilayam, at that point in time, in the accommodation office, there was another Air Force warrant officer, retired, by name Diwan Chand. So Pantji used to go and meet him. They happened to meet, and they became friends. And since this person was in the accommodation office, whenever Pantji was not in the darshan grounds or not in the canteen having his breakfast or lunch, he was in the accommodation office, because this Diwan Chand became a very good friend. So next to his table, he would put a stool. So whenever Pantji was in Prasanthi Nilayam, Diwan Chand would ask him, "You come, you sit next to me, and you can help me with whatever." So he used to spend most of his time in the accommodation office and doing whatever the accommodation officer wanted, be talking to people or getting some things done. And Diwan Chand used to ask him, "Hey, what are you doing in Chennai? You keep coming and going, coming and going." So what Pantji used to do at that point in time, after he took retirement, he took over a Shiva temple. One thing that happened in 1965 after he saw Bhagawan, even though he was a Brahmin, even though he was brought up in a family where there was a lot of these traditions, he was actually not following anything, though he was very spiritual at heart. But after seeing Bhagawan, something opened up, and he loved even doing pujas. He loved worship. A lot of things changed in him. He loved these bhajans, and all that started. A new vista of spiritual yearning started. So what he did after retirement, when he was staying in Chennai, he started looking after a Shiva temple. Now that Shiva temple was a dilapidated temple. He took over that temple, and he started ensuring that this temple got back its glory. So he revamped that temple. He started growing a beautiful garden there. He did a nice fence there. He started doing elaborate pujas, 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the evening. The people started coming to the temple. The temple had such beautiful vibrations. So he would spend his time serving in the temple, and he would say, "Main to maje mein tha. I was having great fun. I would spend time serving in the temple. Then I would come, I would cook my food, and I would rest, and I would go back. I was in bliss." And after some time, it is not just the Shiva temple. He also started serving in a Ganesha temple. So his day was busy serving the devotees in this Shiva temple and Ganesha temple. So if he was in Parthi, he was having darshans and doing whatever Diwan Chand told him to do, or if he was in Chennai, then he was serving. So this went on for about 10-12 years. And then one day in 1983, this Diwan Chand told him, "Hey, why are you continuously shuttling between Parthi and Chennai? Why don't you come and stay in Puttaparthi?" And Pantji said, "Is that possible? Will I get a chance? You think I'll be allowed to stay here permanently? Is that really something that can happen?" And Diwan Chand said, Yes, why not? You're already doing so much work." He said, then I will jump at it. Give me the chance. I want to stay in Parthi. If you can make it happen, I will close everything in Chennai. I will come and stay in Parthi. He said, yeah, you come. So, because he was already doing a lot of work, so he was sort of a familiar face in Parthi. In fact, off and on, he would be given some tasks to do by the ashram authorities also, because he was a very resourceful person. He could talk with people very nicely, very politely. And so that's how he moved to Prasanthi Nilayam. So he was staying in a shed. And so he used to be given this task. If something had to be bought from Bangalore, some purchases, they would ask him to do. So he would go shop to shop in Bangalore, because at that time ashram had a lot of construction activities going on, lights, bulbs, and Puttaparthi did not have many shops, so cement, so all those stuff. So he would go shop to shop, inquiring where he can get the cheapest cost. So he will spend that whole morning and afternoon identifying the shops and fixing the orders, making the payment. Then in the evening he will hire a lorry, he'll go back to the shops, collect all the material, and come late night to Prasanthi Nilayam. So he was doing it so well. The ashram authorities were very happy with his work, and they also saw that he speaks such good English. And they said, there are so many foreigners coming to Prasanthi Nilayam. We need someone who can look after their needs, who can understand them, and you can make them comfortable. So they told him, you don't stay in the shed, you stay with the foreigners. So there was one space, one shed where foreigners used to stay. So he started staying there. And he was very comfortable. He never asked for anything. He never wanted anything. He just wanted to be in Prasanthi. So he was staying with the foreigners. And, when the foreigners left, so there were times when there were no foreigners because there was no major festival in Prasanthi Nilayam. So he went and said, what, now there are no foreigners and, I am staying alone in this big shed. I think it is a waste of space. You can use the space now for something else. You can give me some other place. I will stay anywhere else. Why such a big place for me? And so he was moved to a little, very, very rudimentary shed that was there next to the Ganesh temple in those days. And so he was staying there. He stayed there for probably another 5-6 years. And by this time, the ashram authorities would call him and give him this task of largely doing these purchases because he always did it so sincerely. They could trust him. And then, at that point in time, Sri Kutumb Rao was the secretary of the ashram, and Mr. Chiranjit Rao also was there taking instructions from Bhagawan. They were the caretakers of the ashram. And somebody told the ashram authorities, you know what? This Pantji, he always has money with him. He's always going to Bangalore. He's getting all that stuff for the central trust. Don't you think he should have a room? He's having so much resource. It is not safe for him to just stay in that shed. It is not a protected area. And the ashram authorities thought, yes, this is a good idea. I think he should be given a better and safe place to stay. And so they must have definitely got permission from Bhagawan, and he was told, no, you cannot stay in the Ganesh shed anymore. You will be given a room. You stay in a room in East Prasanthi. So that is how Pantji got a room in East Prasanthi. Getting a room in Prasanthi is so difficult. Unless Bhagawan personally gave you that opportunity, you could never get it. But back in those days, it is like Swami is telling, if you do my work with all sincerity, I will rearrange the universe to see that if there's anything that is a necessity, is fulfilled in plenty. If you want nothing, I will ensure that every need and every want of yours comes to you. He never asked for anything. The room just came. The work just came. And he was very happy. He continued to work. And given that he was so good with people, so courteous, and never complaining, never talking anything unpleasant with anyone, in 1997, there was the Sri Sathya Sai Unity Cup, the cricket match between India 11 and World 11. And during that time, there was this guest house that was built, which is called Shanthi Bhavan. So when Shanthi Bhavan was constructed, now the ashram authorities thought, we need someone to look after this place. We need someone who will talk to the dignitaries, the guests who come for Bhagavan's darshan nicely, who looks after them. And everyone unanimously could only think of Pantji because he was so sweet, so endearing. And so they told him, Pantji, you're now not staying in East Prasanthi. You are going to stay in Shanthi Bhavan. So he's moved from a room in East Prasanthi to the guest house, the premium guest house of Prasanthi. Again, unasked. He never ever opened his mouth and even wished, Swami, give me this. He only said, Swami, I want to be here. I want to serve. The whole world was serving him. Prasanthi was finding ways and means of serving this beautiful soul. And he was given the first room in Shanthi Bhavan because they said, you have to keep a watch who is coming, who is going. So he is the first guest and the permanent guest of Shanthi Bhavan. And he continued to be there in Shanthi Bhavan from 1997 till he left his mortal coil in 2022. And even as he was looking after the guests, no one has ever seen Pantji sitting idle for a minute. What he did to the Shiva temple, to the Ganesha temple, for him Shanthi Bhavan was that temple. So he would spend every spare moment looking after the garden, looking after the trees. He would go talk to the trees, he will go talk to the creepers. He will, in Shanthi Bhavan, if in the quadrangle there is a garden, all the credit goes to Pantji. He would spend lots of time, every spare moment, with these trees and plants. If you do even a little service to God with great love, God will look after every little and big thing of your life. Even if you do a small thing with great love, Swami will look after every small and big thing of our life. And Pantji continued to serve in the Shanthi Bhavan. And everyone used to say there could not have been a person better than Pantji for Shanthi Bhavan because his heart was always in Shanti. He was always peaceful, always smiling, always cheerful. There could not have been a better person for Shanthi Bhavan than someone whose heart is always in Shanti. In fact, even in his final moments, in the last 2-3 years of his life, he had a bit of a fracture, and so he was bedridden. But even then, even when he was bedridden, I personally remember, and so many people can vouch for it, if anyone went to see him, he would only ask so many questions to that other person. How are you? How are you doing? You even then came out of his room only smiling. It was actually not easy because his back was completely worn out. His bones had completely worn out. And I remember this brother who met him telling me, one day he asked him, Pantji, are you not having pain? I mean, it is such a big fracture and it's so your back is gone. And Pantji, he didn't say anything. He just indicated that actually, if I even move a little, there is a lot of pain. But you know what? I am telling this pain, you restrict yourself to that area. You have no right to come on my face. Pain, you cannot come on my face. Be in the area where the problem is. My face has no problem. My heart has no problem. I was just talking to the doctor from our orthopedics department, and Dr. Prakash was telling me, I have never seen anyone who is constantly smiling. Even when you are bedridden, even when you have such a big problem. I wondered, I don't know how, did he not have pain? I can never think of a day when I went to him and he ever said that I have pain or I have. In fact, we would sometimes take things for him. My wife would cook something and I would take, and he would just touch it. He would just take a spoonful. Tell all of you have. Tum khao, tum maje karo. You all be happy. I am fine. I am okay. In fact, on the day he left his body, 3:30 He just had some tea. And there was one person who was looking after him. He says that he was just sitting there, and we don't know when he had closed his eyes. Dr. Prakash says, I don't know, whenever I saw him, I just felt that he was always in Samadhi only. Otherwise, someone cannot be so cheerful, so painless, so blissful all the time. He was a yogi. That was a yogic death. A yogic mergence with Bhagawan. He had no ailments. He would eat everything happily. No blood pressure, no sugar, nothing he had. There are certain moments with him that I can never forget. I once asked him, you have served in the ashram for so many years, 25 years or more, and you have worked with so many people, so many ashram officials, so many ashram administrators, so many people have changed, and people ask you to do so many things. How did you manage working with so many people? Did you ever have any problem discharging your responsibilities? How was it serving in the ashram? And he said, oh, it was smooth. It was very smooth. He would say, very smooth, very smooth. I said, how was it so smooth for you? And he would say, there's only one mantra, very simple. Yes, sir. If anyone asks me to do anything, I will say, yes, sir. I said, okay, that is fine, but see, there can be times when someone might ask you to do something which you don't like. Then what do? And he said, what is that question? Where is the question of me having any likes and dislikes? There's no likes and dislikes. I am here to serve. Whatever I am asked to do, I will do. No likes and dislikes. I am here serving in Bhagawan's home. Whatever the ashram asks me to do, I will do. I have no complaints. Absolutely no problems. Then when he became old, so his relatives, his nephews and nieces, they all came to him. And they said, now you should come to stay with us. Now we need to take care of you. You have now not that young. And he said, what? What are you saying? No. I'm never going to leave Puttaparthi. What are you saying? You should come to Puttaparthi. I am so happy. See, I am eating idli sambar. I am enjoying here. What are you saying? I can never leave Parthi. What are you doing here? You come. Taste the idli sambar of canteen. Go and sit for darshan. Go and take a walk in the gardens. So blissful it is, Prasanthi. Why are you missing? I am not going to go anywhere. You know what? This is the greatest blessing. I have got the chance to stay in Parthi. What can be a greater blessing? It does not come easily. It does not come by choice. It does not come by chance. Staying in Parthi comes only by grace. Prashanti does not happen by chance. Prashanti does not happen by choice. Prashanti happens only by grace, I have got this grace. I can never, ever let it go out of my hand. I will never go from this place. You come. You come, we will have fun here. I asked him, Pantji, don't you ever feel lonely? All these years you have never really had a family or anything like that. I know, you like it when people come and talk to you, and everybody likes to come and talk to you. You are so endearing for everyone, so lovable. But are there moments when you feel lonely? And Pantji told me, you know what? When I am alone, that is my best moment. That is my most precious moment. I love it the most when I'm alone. I keep chanting Gayatri, I keep chanting Sai Gayatri, Sairam Bolo, Sairam Bolo, Sairam Bolo. Mind, it'll keep going here and there. I keep telling the mind, Duniya chodo, Bhagawan pakdo. Duniya, leave the world, catch hold of Bhagawan. I keep telling my mind. I don't allow the mind to go here and there. So when I'm alone, I have been bliss because I am just chanting. I'm with my Swami. People come and talk to me, I will talk to them. But when I'm alone, it's like when I'm alone, I am God, as Swami says. When I'm alone, I am with my God. I am with my God self. And as he was on the bed and people told Pantji, we are so sorry to see that you are now sick. I am not sick. Who said I am sick? This is just old age. I am not sick. I am fine. I have no pain. I have no complaints. How is it that you are always happy? How is it that you make everyone happy? And Pantji used to say, there is so much good in the worst of us, and there is so much bad in the best of us that it scarcely behoves any of us to find fault with the rest of us. There is so much good in the worst of us. There is so much bad in the best of us that it scarcely behoves any of us to find fault with the rest of us. That was one of his mantras of life. He said, there is so much good in people. Look at the good in people. Don't criticize. Don't criticize anyone. Don't talk ill of anyone. Karma is a very dangerous thing. It will come back. Everything will come back. Speak nicely to everyone. Share love with everyone. And he used to recite a Kabir Doha. Kabira khada bazar mein, sabki chahe khair, na kahu se dosti, na kahu se bair. Kabir says, Kabir is here in the marketplace, in this world which is a marketplace. Kabir wishes well for everyone. Samasta loka sukhino bhavantu. Kabir has no friendship with anyone. Kabir has no enmity with anyone. But Kabir wishes well for everyone. He says, I speak with everyone. I love everyone. But I am bound only to my Swami within. So don't talk ill of anyone. Keep your mind on Baba. Swami used to say, MBA is mind on Baba always. And for Pantji, his life's mission was, keep your mind on Baba. Even in the last moment. Because his mind was always on Baba, we don't know when so happily it just left that physical frame and became one with the only one. Happiness is union with God. He was happy all his life. And when he reached his lotus feet, he left such a beautiful legacy for all of us to emulate. I feel Pantji's story is just one of hundreds and thousands. There are so many Hiralals, there are so many Shabaris, there are so many Dhruvas, there are so many Ramadasas in Prasanthi Nilayam, wherever we are in Sathya Sai centers, who are doing such fantastic work. And I feel, as he said, we have to look at the good that is around us and see that we imbibe those beautiful traits into our lives. If the world today is what it is, if there is still hope, if the sun still rises, if there is still rains, and if there are still smiles in the world, it is because there are souls like Hiralal Vallabh Pant ji. And it is these souls which ensure that the world is still a world we look up to, a world we cherish. My request to you, in your life, around you, there are such people, isn't it? We all have seen such people whose lives shine like beacons. We have learned so much from them. They have had such indelible impressions in our heart. Let us recollect those lives. They could be living in Prasanthi Nilayam. They could have made their heart into Prasanthi Nilayam. They could be serving in some Sai center in Nigeria. They could be serving in some Sai Samiti in a center in Bihar, in Kashmir, anywhere. If you know of any such person, think about that person. Think about those beautiful values, and maybe you should share with us, put it in the comment section. Let us read those stories. Let us relive those beautiful lives. Because as we listen and re-listen and relive these beautiful tales, these beautiful qualities will come into us, and we too will glisten in His glory. We too will feel that Shanti. We too will become the embodiment of Prasanthi, just like Pantji showed in his life. Let us too become carriers of that Prasanthi. Let the spirit of Prasanthi envelop us. Let it fill our beings, and let peace be the only way we see ourselves, we see everything around us. A peaceful heart is the abode of love. Like Pantji saw only Swami in everyone, let this love become our life. Nayana nayana me sayo janam maran me sayo janam maran me sayo 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 sayo. Thank you so much for being with me through this beautiful journey. I offer my salutations to Bhagawan for making this possible, and pray that we have more such moments when we can lose ourselves in such beautiful vibes. Thank you so much. Sai Ram.